This is Shutters Inc. with Bruce Williams and Glyn Lavender.
Hi and welcome to episode 509.
Hang on. Well, we're going to start a new way. How did you do it last week?
Something a little more professionally than this.
Really? So last week was good then, is what you say. Did we get a lot of feedback?
None.
Normally.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, let's go back to the tried and true. Welcome to episode, the one we're in. Off we go.
509 of Shutters Inc. This is Bruce Williams from shuttersincpodcast.com. What?
Wasn't last week's 509?
No, last week was 508.
I like 509.
Jeez, mate, keep up.
What's that, man? Okay, 509.
And that there at the other end is a pre-lockdown Mr. Glyn Lavender from creativephotoworkshops.com.au. How are you? Are you broadcasting from the middle of your street?
Tell you what, I am absolutely exhausted, Bruce.
You've got 3 hours. Yeah, why is that?
Well, I've got a temporary job.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've been putting a fence up around the state. Building a wall.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll call you Donald.
We've taken down Trump's one that didn't get finished.
Right.
We've brought it over here and we're putting up to stop the virus getting over the top.
Excellent. Excellent idea.
Because we're going to be in lockdown as of midnight tonight, so in about 2.5 hours from now, we're in lockdown for 4. It sounds like a wrestling thing. Lockdown number 4. Coronavirus versus... I don't know, the rest of us poor suckers.
The people of Victoria.
Well, yeah, we're locking down again. Theoretically only 7 days, but
Yeah,
we've gone from 0 cases to 34 cases, I think it is, in 2 days. So,
yikes.
and it's again this whole thing that someone came back from overseas, which I said don't let anyone back in. Came back from overseas, they went to a quarantine hotel. They were tested every day in the quarantine. They were never sick. They were tested the last day before they left, and then they left, and then they came over here. They were in South Australia, came over to Victoria where they lived, and a couple of days after that, they felt sick, got tested, and they caught the virus in the hotel.
What?
Oh, this is a rule I would like to put in. If you come out of a quarantine hotel, you have to wear a face mask for the following 2 weeks.
Yep.
I don't think it's too much to ask.
I don't think that's too much to ask at all.
It's like a simple, so even if you test negative, it's a simple added just-in-case precaution. You make sure you do the old washing the hands thing.
Yep.
Wear a mask if you go out public. And you know what? Do us a favour. Try to not go to too many places.
Yeah.
For the first week. Don't go to football games like this person did. Don't go to shopping centres like this person did. Don't go to food courts like this person did. Don't go to another food court. Don't go to another shop. Don't go to another football game. These people have an active social life like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, why isn't it people come home, so we did contact trace you. Where have you been the last 2 weeks since you came out of the hotel? Oh, well, I went to the shop and got some milk.
Yeah.
For the whole 2 weeks. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I get my groceries delivered and they just leave it at the door. I don't have much of a life. Yeah, those are the people we should go travel.
Yeah. To play devil's advocate, I can imagine, though, if you have been in quarantine, the last thing you want to do is be minimising your social contact. I can understand why someone would come out of quarantine and then...
I can understand, I can go celebrate, but all of a sudden you give it to everybody else and they're not there anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's your choice, and you only take yourself down.
Yeah.
You're not taking everybody else. I reckon they need like an invisible shield, like someone should invent like a cone of silence, an invisible cone of silence around. They walk around, it just repels everything.
Yep.
So anyway, I'll be coming up with the next 7 days how to solve the world's problems.
Excellent.
And in between homeschool, looking forward to that.
Of course you are.
This is something the listeners won't be used to from me, but that last sentence, looking forward, that was sarcasm. Just on the listeners.
Yeah.
Be serious, because, we don't want to be misconstrued.
No.
So how's your week been? Has it been fabuloso?
It's just regular kind of week, I guess. Except I'm off the bike.
Oh, how come? Yeah, because of the recall.
Okay, so I'm going to name and shame.
Oh, God.
Right. So, as you know, there's 2 product recalls on the bike, and the main one is the second gear issue, which requires stripping the whole gearbox down, pulling it apart. And that's not the kind of job you want to take to a mechanic who may not have done it before. You want to take this to a team.
He took it to those guys.
So you want to take it to some guys who know what they're doing, right? So I got in touch with Bike Biz in Parramatta because they're a Yamaha dealer. Bike Biz. Yep.
Bike Biz in Parramatta, New South Wales, Australia.
Yep. So anyway, I'd said to them, I will bring the bike down on Saturday. This is a week and a half ago now.
Right.
So that you've got the bike cold on Monday morning and you can start work on it and blah, blah, blah.
I was sick.
That's right. Oh, so I did tell you the story.
That was last week, but I didn't get that he was still sick.
Well, it's not that he's sick. It's that I went and picked up the bike because he couldn't get to it last week, which I think is absolute crap because they said, he'll be back Wednesday, but he's got a backlog of work and he can't get to your bike this week. And it's like, well, hang on. He was going to be working on my bike from Monday if he hadn't have been... So why is it...
That was the whole point.
So what's the issue, you know? So anyway, I picked the bike up and they've now said they can't take it back in to do the job until the second week of June. And the problem is my bike is now due for its 20,000 kilometre service. And because it's still under warranty, I don't want to keep riding it, you know, and put on... like. For those 2 weeks that I'm waiting to take it back to them, I'd do another 1,500 Ks in those 2 weeks because I'd do 750 a week. And I don't want to jeopardise the warranty.
Why would you?
Well, I don't want Yamaha to turn around and go, well, you voided your warranty because you did 22,000 Ks before you had the 20,000 kilometre service done.
But if they can't get you in,
well, they might say, well, you can go to another dealer. And they might want me to go to the dealer that's here on the Central Coast that I don't want to go to.
Not just for the service? Can't you just go there for the service?
Well, the point is, when you get a bike like this serviced, you pay 2 hours of labour just for them to pull the fairing off and put the fairing back on. It's such a complicated job to get the fairing off these bikes that it's
let's assume, Bruce, let's just assume there's listeners out there who aren't as intelligent as the two of us who don't know what a fairing is. Let's just
the plastic that covers the engine, that makes the engine hidden.
Asking for our listeners.
It's around the side of the engine.
Yeah, there's bits where they have like the Harley Davidson midnight.
Yeah.
Was that the fuel tank?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I think they might be fuel tank.
Anyway. Point is, I'm having to spend another 3 weeks on the train because I'm trying to keep the miles I do on the bike to a minimum, so I'm not racking up.
If you take the fairings off, they may as well do the gears. Is that what you're saying?
Well, the point is that when they do the service, they're going to put in new oil, and I don't want to get that done and then 2 weeks later have them throw all that oil out because they're then doing the gearbox strip down. So
the environment.
So my point is, if I get the 20,000 K service done at the same time that they're pulling the whole bike apart anyway, Yamaha is going to pick up most of the, the cost of all of that work, and I'm just going to pay for, new oil, new spark plugs, new oil filter, whatever it is they do with the 20,000 K service. So I'm trying to minimise the disruption, I guess. I like your thinking.
twice the problems, twice the fun.
Yes. I like your thinking. I'll put that idea to Kath.
Yeah. And mate, you can always use the spare room here.
Excellent.
Don't bring the bikes. Noisy eagles. So you've been in public. So you don't want to be on public transport with the Rona going around, though.
Tell me about it. And there are people getting around with just, garden variety colds and flus. And the moment you've got that, everyone thinks you've got coronavirus. And
that's it. You're going to get something shoved into your brain.
Yeah, it's a nightmare. Anyway. So I'm on the train this week. So
whilst I remember, because I just remembered, and our listeners would be wanting to know, Condolences for your nan there, mate.
Oh, thank you, mate.
Your lovely nan passing on.
Yeah, that was quite a shock to me because when I saw her at the beginning of April, she was in really good health. And, despite the Alzheimer's and, you'd have a conversation that would just go round and round in circles every 30 seconds, her mind was still really sharp. And I honestly thought when I left there, I thought, we'll come back at Christmas time because, the plan was Kath and I were going to go back at Christmas time.
Yeah.
And, and Kath will get to see her and she'll get to see Kath and, it'll be great. And, and then I get this text on Saturday afternoon from my auntie, not even from my dad. And my auntie says, don't know if you've spoken to your dad, but this is what's going on. Nan's had this infection. They've treated it with 4 different bouts of antibiotics and they can't get it to take, and they've now decided to withdraw treatment and her body's shutting down. And I was like, what? And so it really
just an infection.
And just straight out of the blue. And now I'm kind of thinking, man, I hope I didn't pass it on to her. I mean, I haven't been sick, but what if I passed something on to her while I was there? I mean, I don't know.
Well, no one will ever know.
No. Exactly.
You can't take that on because that could have happened in any part of life anyway. So it's like you were sick, thought you were better and went over and she got sick. That's a big different thing altogether. Or you went over there, came back sick, and then you realised you passed on to a few. No, so nothing. Calm your brain on that one, dude. I don't think you have to worry about that.
No, I don't think it was me either. But it just timing wise, it would sort of fit. I was like, wow, So, it really hit me, and I was a bit of a mess on Saturday when I got the message.
Yeah.
And now, I'm obviously sad. I loved my nan very much, and, I will miss her. But I'm kind of okay now. It's like, well, she was 3 weeks shy of 97. She had a good innings. And, for all intents and purposes, she was pretty healthy all the way to the end, so...
Yeah, well, that's kind of the way you want, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Go down in a quick spiral like that, not too bad.
Yeah.
A friend of mine's mum died just a couple of days ago, and she had the slow, drawn-out battle with cancer.
That is horrible.
So,
I mean, I went through that with my mum, so...
Yes, it's just bastard,
Yeah.
So, and the thing is, now, of course, the funeral's supposed to be Monday, and now no funerals. And I was going to be helping to carry the coffin, and that's all thrown. So I was talking to her last night. She came over last night. She goes, I was going to put her on ice for a few more days. Mum wouldn't like that. She says, "Oh God."
Yeah, but thank you for your well wishes. I appreciate that.
I was just so saddened to hear, but so delighted that you got over there.
Oh, same. That
was especially with all the frustrations of trying to get there.
Yeah.
You had all the best intentions, and it was foiling you the whole way. And
yep.
Yeah, but you still got there, so I'm so pleased for that.
Yeah, totally. And I'm so glad I got those, couple of nice photos of her. Okay, it's not a particularly inspiring background or anything.
Priceless photo,
Yeah.
We can fix that in Photoshop.
Yeah.
Send me. I'll put you on a beach in Hawaii. That'd be congruent.
There you go.
Yeah, look, they're the only photos that matter, dude.
Exactly.
The other crap we take, means nothing.
Yep.
Totally. They've got to be perfect. They're just got to be it.
But I got a really nice one of her by herself, and I got a nice one of her and me together. And I will treasure those photos now.
Of course. Yeah. I mean, the last photos I got of my mum is just terrible because of the condition she was in. Yeah. The last photos. So unfortunately, all I remember is the horrible. So my friend was there last night, and she showed me the last photo of my mum, which was taken on Monday, just gone.
Yeah,
and she's doing pretty good, even after the ravages of cancer.
Yeah,
she was sitting up in her own bed. She looked okay. She not that massively. And then I pulled out a photo of my mum and to show my girls for free. And it's just like, so depressing,
Yeah. I don't know if I've mentioned it, but when my mum was very close to the end, I was at her hospital bed about 18 hours before she passed away. And I took a photo on my phone at that time. And I remember looking at that. I can't remember if it was later the same night or if it was the next morning when I got back to Sydney. And I just looked at it and I went, you know what? This is not how I want to remember her. And I deleted it. And I've got, photos from her, even just 6 months prior that now I look back and I think that was Mum at the end, if not, as real as it.
The last of the good times.
Yeah, exactly.
Or best, as good as be.
Yeah.
I've got this photo on my phone, but it's a live photo. You press it and it shows you the couple of seconds beforehand and whatever.
Right.
Do you have that on Androids?
I don't think so. No.
Okay, so with Apple, when you take a photo, so you hold up the camera, take a photo, and press the photo, it actually records like a second or so of footage before you press the button. So it's like constantly shooting.
Oh, okay. So it's like video.
Yeah. So when you're looking at the photo, you can just touch on the photo and it plays that in the second.
Oh, nice.
So your photo becomes like a little bit like a Harry Potter, moving book type thing. Right? I've got this photo. I quickly took a snap in my dad's hospital room as my mum leaned in to give him a kiss goodbye.
Right.
And I touched this photo. And she leans down and does the kiss. It's not just the photo of the kiss.
Yeah.
There's the last ever kiss she gave him.
Yeah.
And then the last photo when my dad was healthy and at home was at like a Christmas party for the family.
Yep.
And there's this photo, and I was showing my sister the year he died. A couple of years ago when he died at the Christmas party. And there's a photo of him with a big smile, Christmas hat on, and a drink in his hand. Soft drink. He never drank alcohol.
Right.
His dad was an alcoholic, so he never ever touched it in life. But there's this photo. But if I touch it, he comes to life.
Yep.
And he lifts the glass and the smile comes up and he goes, cheers. And it's both awesome and creepy as all get out.
Yeah, right.
But it's beautiful. It's beautiful, but oh my God, it's confronting.
Yeah.
It's not like watching a video of someone.
Right.
Because the video is different, it's just continuous. It's this one moment that's frozen that comes to life.
It's almost like an animated GIF.
It is. It's that, but it's got sound as well. And
nice.
And the good thing is, so you can go. The good thing about Apple, you can open up that stream of images, of still images that make the little video, and then choose which one you want.
Oh, nice.
So if someone hasn't quite got the expression perfect you want, maybe just miss it, you can actually go back. Oh, there it is, right there, and choose that as the photo. Awesome. So you can choose a photo out of all that, that's a good feature.
Yeah.
Oh, we're accidentally talking photography here, Bruce. It's terrible. Yeah, so look, but anyway, I'm delighted you got that. You got over there, got that photo. That was the first thing I thought of. I'm going to tell you, the very first thing I heard when my cat told me that your nan had passed.
Yeah.
First thing I thought of was that photo.
Yeah.
So really cool. Yeah.
So speaking of photography this week,
no, I've got a few things to ask you. My week's been like I've got some stories.
I don't care.
I know I'm going to tell you anyway. You know that.
How's your week been, mate?
Oh, not so bad. Anyway, no.
What have you been up to?
Oh, I've been planning my English trip, my trip to England.
Oh yeah.
More. Yeah, I'm a voracious researcher. So
you weren't planning on leaving in the next 7 days, were you?
No. So it's now go from England to Scotland, Scotland to France, England, Scotland, France to England, Scotland, France, Italy. So it's just growing. I said to Kat last night, what do you think about the pyramids? We're going to keep working our way over. I went to the library to look up a road map of England.
Oh, okay.
I love just planning stuff, So I've got nothing else to do, so I thought I'll plan. So we've got this big A3 atlas of roads of England. It was really cool. I thought, you know what? I want to get one of these myself so I can draw on it,
Right.
So I've gone on to Amazon. And there's another version from another company, but it's A3, the same thing. You have 3 inches, 3 miles to the inch scale, all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
$7.91 delivered.
Wow.
For an A3, like a 200-page, really great big atlas of England. It arrived in a day.
Oh, wow.
For $7.91. It's just
gotta love that.
Absolute insanity. So me and my eldest and I have spent a very splendid hour going over the maps, looking at the stupid names of places.
Yes.
Yeah, Itchy Bottom and all these other places. So we decided we're going to do a photo book when we go over there of just place names that sound stupid.
Nice.
Or amusing.
Excellent.
So we did that. I did a one-on-one this week.
Cool.
So I did It's a bit of an odd request.
Good thing you hadn't planned it for next week. Yeah.
Do you remember like 2 years ago I went up to Ayers Rock for a guy to take a photo of Ayers Rock?
Yeah.
And he flew me up. Same guy.
Right.
So he says, look, I want to take some photos to enter into this photo competition.
That's right. Yes.
And it's the photo competition is being held in a gay bar.
Okay.
And I want some topless buff male photos with cool lighting.
Right.
So I can do that. So I found a model, got down there. So I'm setting up 3 lights. I've got 3 lights. I'm setting up, doing all this sort of stuff. So I'm using LED panels to make it easy for him to see.
Yep.
And he's just sitting there saying, so what are you looking for? Oh, you just I'll follow your lead. So I set up this shot. So what do you think about that? Oh, that's really good. What settings do I use? The settings of the camera. Aimed his camera for him, pressed a couple like that. Oh, okay. So he takes a couple. So we did this for like an hour and a half, I guess.
Right.
And then he goes, oh, we've got some great, I like to do things quickly. So that's enough. We're done. We're finished. Hour and a half. And we've done like 4 setups. He goes, now, how do I get him off my camera? Yeah, so do you have a computer? Yeah, so he got his computer there. And there's there's a laptop didn't even have an SD card slot.
Right.
So I don't know where this laptop came from, how old it is. But I remember the last thing we did, we went and got a USB
card reader.
The card reader. So he found that out. We put so that I guess, what do I do with them? How do I get them printed? And I said, well, you got to get a USB stick, and maybe put the ones you like on, and take down Officeworks or something. It's like completely. But there's a few and I'm looking at the file sizes, and they're all 1.2, 1.3 megabyte.
Oh
yeah. I'm going, did I just fall asleep and wake up in 2004?
Yeah.
Why are all the file sizes so? He's shooting with a little point-and-shoot compact camera.
Right.
But I don't know if he had the settings set to who knows what.
It's got 800 by 600 pixel resolution.
Well, first of all, this is about the 4th. I've probably done a job for him almost every year, except the last year. Almost every year for like the last 4 years, he's had a project he wants doing.
Right. Okay.
On his SD card were all those photos. Years ago. So I'm going, oh my God. I said, look, yeah, I'll put them on the USB key. I'll take them out. There's a few that needed like, a little bit of correction. You need photograph off the edge of the backdrop, that sort of stuff. I'll fix those up for you, and I'll get it back to you by Dropbox. Now, do you know how to use Dropbox? He did. That was fortunate. So I've gone home, and fortunately, Photoshop has just got this new feature called Enhance, which gives you 4 times the resolution of your photos.
Oh, okay.
It expands the resolution 4-fold.
Yep.
So I've got all these 1.2, 1.3 megapixel. But I managed to get them up to, 5, 6 megapixel, the megabyte, I should say.
Right.
Which at least is moderately usable.
So what was the resolution of the images?
I can't even remember. Don't think I even
It
looked.
must have been low.
I don't think so. Oh, has it? There's one here.
It's either that or they were saved with really heavy JPEG compression.
This is what I'm thinking. Where's the get info? Let's have a look here. The shot with a light, 4752 by 7136.
Must have been really heavy JPEG compression.
Massive.
Yikes.
Massive. So anyway, I managed to get them up to reasonable resolution. That's 10 megabyte opened up. So that's pretty good from under 2. So I've got to test out that new feature. I'd never used that before, so that came in bloody handy.
Yeah.
Anyway, he just sent through a photo before. He just got all 3. He's entering 3 photos into the competition, and he's got them all framed side by side. He's taken the photo of all, and he's wrapped because it looked really good. and my wife goes, so he's entering a photo competition with photos that you set the model up, you did the pose, you did the lighting, you told him the settings, he pressed the button, then you did the editing. And he says, thank you for your mentorship. But no, he's a lovely guy, and I'm wrapped for him. I'm glad he's happy. But it is a funny proposition. I'm going to say it's a funny little job. But you know what? It's only the second paying job I've had in 12 months. So I'll take it. I'll take it anyway But I did have a talk planned this on travel photography in Wonthaggi this weekend, which is country Victoria.
Yep.
And unfortunately, that's gone by the wayside now. So with the bloody Rona.
Yep.
So there's what it is. So I've gone from having quite a nice little busy week to nothing.
Yeah.
None.
And when was it that you were planning on starting to run workshops again?
Next month. July. Okay. I was about to advertise. This was about to advertise them this week.
Yeah.
And now I'll just delete that. Just get that right now.
Since 2005, Shutters Inc. has been a labour of love. But beyond the time required to produce it, there is also a financial commitment. If you find value in the podcast and would like to help keep the servers running, hit up the Patreon link, which is in the show notes. Even a couple of dollars a month will help. Much appreciated. Now, back to the podcast.
And of course, we had the eclipse last night.
Yes.
So
how'd you go?
We went outside. I took some photos of the iPhone.
Excellent.
Good crap. So I put up a photo of a salami on my face.
I saw that.
And so that was the slice of salami with a black background. So that was it. Yeah, did great. It was a cool eclipse. It was a good one.
It was great. Yeah.
Chance to watch. Yeah.
Yep.
Our mate John Swainston did a lovely sequence of shots.
I saw that.
I think he shot for 4 hours or something to get the whole thing.
And he went through 3 camera batteries doing it.
Did he?
Yes. I think that was because of the cold, Bowral being such a cold hole that it is. I can say that because I used to live there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Back in the 80s, I lived there for a year or two. I mean, it's a very pretty place. It's gorgeous, but it is bloody cold in the wintertime. But yes, no, I saw John's composite that he's working on. It looks great. Yeah,
that's commitment to effort then, isn't it? If he's out there for 4 hours in those conditions.
Yeah.
Good on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's my week. A few little interesting things, a little tiny bit of photography.
Nice.
Which is what? Can't knock that, I guess.
Yep.
Do you have anything to talk about this week, or are we done?
Yeah, I got a few things. A couple of weeks ago, somebody reached out to me, and I can't remember if it was someone who listens to Shutters Inc. I can't remember if it was someone who used to listen to sign language, which I've now killed off. I can't remember if it was someone who watches my Darktable channel. Whoever it was said to me, you might enjoy this episode of this podcast called Audiophile Style. So it's a podcast all about audiophile hi-fi listening. And the person who reached out said this particular episode is a interview with a guy called Bill Snee, who was a recording engineer.
Wasn't he the sidekick of Captain Hook?
Yes. Yeah, that's him. Back in the late 60s, early 70s and so on. And so anyway, I went and had a listen to that, and I really enjoyed it. And while I was listening to it, I happened to be looking at some of the other episodes from this particular podcast. And I happened to see another episode with a guy called Charles Peterson, who is a music photographer. And I thought, I might give that a listen. That might be interesting. And so I listened to that only yesterday or the day before, and I really enjoyed it, even though he sort of did a lot of photography with a lot of the grunge bands of the early 90s, which is really not my thing. I still enjoyed listening to his anecdotes of his time with a camera dealing with bands and live music and whatever. So I thought I would put a link to that particular episode in our show notes. So if anyone's interested, this guy had, a very interesting career. He did a lot of photography with Pearl Jam, got very close to the band. Yeah, just some great stories about his photography career. So, I'll put that in the show notes for those that are interested.
Oh, there you go. That sounds pretty good.
Remember the Lightro? The camera that was going to do the light field capture? Yes. Right. So, as you may or may not recall, they pivoted away from still photography and decided to focus all of their energies on Hollywood and capturing video with light field information so that you could selectively alter focus and bokeh and whatever to your video footage after the fact. And they've sort of, moved completely away from still photography. In their place, there is a new company who I think is German, who are bringing to market a lens called the K Lens 1. K as in the letter K. They're hoping to launch on Kickstarter, I believe, but I've got a link to their actual website. And basically what they are doing is building a lens that has all of that light field capturing technology in the lens. And the lens is going to come with different camera mounts so that you can throw it onto whatever camera body you happen to be shooting with, assuming they, come up with a version for all of the camera mounts that there are. But we can probably guess it'll start with being Canon and Nikon, and Sony a close third, hopefully. But the interesting thing is, this thing basically splits up the light that's entering the front element of the lens into essentially 9 different images taken in a 3x3 matrix. And that's how it gathers its depth information about the stuff that's in front of your camera lens. And it then uses that different point of view between those 9 frames to compile all of this depth information, which you can then edit later on in the software that they provide. So yeah, I thought it was a really interesting concept. It's the lens that they're bringing out is an 80mm designed for 35mm sensors. It's manual focus with a maximum aperture of f/0.9. Yeah, really interesting stuff.
Good luck focusing that.
Yeah.
You get it? You get it?
I do get it. So, yeah.
Because, you can refocus afterwards.
That's right. So, I got it.
You don't have to focus at all.
No,
good.
I got it.
Oh, good. Well, the lens will be available for all full-frame cameras and also compatible with EF, F, E, L, RF, and Z mounts with a commercially available adapter, and they're working on producing lenses that don't even need an adapter for all mounts.
Okay.
That sounds ambitious, doesn't it?
It does. Anyway, I thought it was interesting.
Autumn 2021.
Yeah. Depends on which autumn.
That's autumn. Yeah, I'm assuming it's North Hemisphere autumn. I think they're German. It's a German company, you said?
I think they are German, yeah. So it's more than likely our spring. So September, October, November.
Different focal lengths in the future too.
Yeah, nice.
Well,
it's an interesting technology. I've got to say I'm keen to see where that goes. Whether it takes off, whether it gets, consumer interest, or does it just sort of end up as a bit of a fad that falls by the wayside. Yeah. It seems like it has incredible potential, but it also seems like it's very finicky to actually post-process, those images after the fact, and if you've shot a wedding and you've got 3,000 images to process. Yeah.
Well, I've got a solution for that too.
What's that?
I'll tell you what we'll get later on in my stuff.
Okay.
No, that's. I reckon it's. Yeah, we've said all along that AI and all this new technology that's coming out. There's a lot of chance to completely change and revolutionise photography. And
yeah, well, they do mention computational photography in their little teaser video that they've got on their website. So,
because I know Adobe just came out with some new depth mapping stuff for Photoshop, but I didn't pay much attention because it had big words in it. My brain hurts too much to read anything big at the moment. But yeah, they've got all this new, not say refocus technology, but this new way of mapping different depths of focus to your photos that weren't shot that way. Anyway, if you're interested, look it up. Yeah. Photoshop depth thingy. Just Google that. Sure.
I'm sure it'll be at the top of the Google results. And the third thing that I came up with, and this is not new, but I saw it again and thought, for anyone who hasn't seen it, it'll be a good chuckle. And it's James Fridman, who's the Photoshop guru, who he basically has made a name for himself where people will send him a photo and say, can you do X with this photograph? and he will do X, but take it in a completely opposite direction to what anyone was expecting. And some of the results are just hilarious. So, definitely worth a look at some of his output. Again, I'll put the link in the show notes for those that want to check it out.
And one day, the kid with the birthmark, and he sent the photo, asked me if he can remove it, and he sent it back saying, no, our difference and imperfections make us human.
Yeah.
It was good on him.
That's awesome.
I got a photo request a week or so ago based on a similar kind of thing. Mate of mine's kid just had he's doing prep, or I think his first year at school anyway, and came to school photo day. And the day before, he'd fallen over and scraped the crap out of the end of his nose.
Oh, no.
He's got his big greys right on the end of his nose.
Oh,
and so when school photos came back, he sent it to me, go, mate, is there anything to do with this? So cleaned it up perfectly, and he would never have known there was anything there. But, it's funny. Yeah. You never normally remove. But it was such a bloody glaringly obvious huge thing. Yeah. But I told him to make sure he hung on to the original because of the story. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. And there will come a time where he'll be a lot less self-conscious about it, and we'll be able to laugh about it somewhere down the track. Maybe not today, but.
So I just looked at the one where the guy's got his. Hi, James. This is a picture of my girlfriend and I on holiday. Could you remove my hand from around hip? I think it looks kind of weird. And so he's put some other guy behind him. So his hand's off your hip.
And there's a great one where there's a couple sitting on the beach making silly faces at the camera, and there's a person over in the background, and he goes, can you remove my friend from the background? And he goes, sure. And then in the retouched version, the friend is like 200% bigger and in front of the couple.
My favourite one is going to be, I hope you're well. Could you please edit this photo of me so I'm touching the top of the Eiffel Tower?
Yes.
So instead of making it look she's touching, he's put an Eiffel Tower on her. Gold.
Some great stuff.
Hey James, could you please take out the lamp? Thanks. There's a photo of a girl doing a selfie. It's a shot from John Era with the lamp in the background. He goes, sure. He just turned the whole photo black because once the lamp's not there, cool. Stuff.
And did you see the one with can you take out the guy watering the plants in the background?
Yes.
That's just fantastic. Anyway. It'll mean nothing to anyone who's not actually looking at the photos. So
no, so you should
definitely go and check it out. So what do you got on your list?
I'm going to talk about my first thing last.
Oh, okay.
Because I accidentally found something good.
Right.
I thought it was pretty darn cool. Who cut the cheese? That's the name. That's why I named it myself. This is a photo of a drug dealer.
Yeah.
Took a photo of some mature blue Stilton. Right. And posted it onto a dark website where criminals hang out, and where he's a known drug dealer.
Right.
But the cops have they've infiltrated this group. They got the photo. They scanned his fingerprints from the photo.
Oh wow!
And caught him.
Nice.
He took a photo of cheese. Which I thought in the world, and he got 13 years.
Wow!
Not for buying blue cheese, I might add. Apparently, it was quite a big deal in other stuff. Wow. He got 13 years, 6 months for pleading guilty to conspiracy to supply cocaine, heroin, MDMA, ketamine, and transferring criminal property.
Wow!
That must be what he got the 6 months for at the end. Transferring bloody property. So that was pretty interesting.
But all because they could lift his fingerprints from that photo.
Yeah.
Wow. That's incredible.
Embed your fingers in the cheese before you take the photo of it. That's what we've all learned. There's this guy remastered photos of the Earth shot by Apollo astronauts. You know, there's classic early photos of the astronauts. Well, this guy's and some of them are pretty average, some are pretty good, but there's some really interesting shots. Some shots I'd never seen before. Yep. So that was kind of cool looking at. But he's made, he's brought out some of the shadows and highlights and got details you never would have seen before.
Nice.
So they're kind of cool to look at.
Yeah.
It's just kind of pretty. That sort of video of Sony's new drone they're coming out with to carry their full-frame cameras.
Oh, wow.
The Airpeak. It looks epic. Epic. That's what they've done. Wow. Epic. They've just used the Epic.
Nice.
Epic. But yeah, and the footage is really cool to look at. I should check the comments. There's 129 of them. I mentioned Sony's acquired some sensor tech that may find its way into the drone and could be game changer. Oh, this is boring. There's no one's insulting anybody here. Anyway, so there's anyone looking at pretty cool big drones. That looks pretty bloody epic, I've got to say.
Oh, I'll have to check out the videos.
Yeah, I've got another article there on how to photograph the eclipse.
Yep.
To get your best photos. So I thought that'd come in handy for last week's episode.
Yes.
So I put that one in there. So there's one for you all. And my last thing is I found this piece of software called by a company called Narrative.
Right.
And it's called Select. So if you're in the wedding photography business or the group photography business, or when you do lots and lots of photos, this is AI culling software.
Oh wow!
So let's say you've got 30 shots of a couple, a wedding couple walking along towards you. Bang, 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 bang. This automatically scans them all. And highlights the faces, checks which ones are in focus, which ones are blinking, which ones are silly, and automatically just puts a little red line under them. So you know straight away, out of these 30 photos, these 17 are more than likely not usable.
Nice.
And bang, 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 then you've got, there's much less to choose from there. But the best thing I saw was, if you're doing, doing a group shot of 10 people,
yeah.
And you've got, say, 20 photos because you're trying to get everyone not looking stupid.
Yeah.
Right? It automatically zooms in on all 10 faces and puts a thumbnail up above the top of the image.
Yep.
And then as you scroll through all the 20 photos you've taken, that thumbnail just changes to what everyone's expression in that photo looks like.
Right.
So you go bang, bang, you can say, oh, that one's blinking, that one's not smiling, that one's looking the wrong way, rather than to zoom in on individual faces. Let's say there's 30 people there, it might be hard to see them all.
Yeah,
this
right.
automatically strings them all out there big so you can see, and you can go through in no time whatsoever to select which is the best expressions in each photo.
Yeah, right.
It's quite...
Hopefully version 2 will actually compile the composite for you with the best expression.
It's going to be a possibility, wouldn't you?
Oh, it's only a matter of time.
Yeah, so I mean that's a pretty incredible. And so if you're in that sort of industry of doing lots of photos,
yep.
So I thought straight away. I thought a friend of mine, a really good wedding photographer, I shot her a message saying, "Hey, have you seen this?" She goes, "I've been using it for about a year. It's awesome."
Wow.
So really, really cool. So there's a little short video on the page there to show you how it works, and it's like $18 a month subscription.
Right.
But,
well, if you're shooting weddings or
if you're
corporate
2
events,
or 3 or 4 hours a month, or with how much you're shooting, that's
money well spent. Yeah.
Oh, huge. Yeah, built into the cost of your jobs. Yeah.
Yep.
But I thought that was seriously cool. So if you're if culling's one of your biggest nightmares, go look at the website and look at some of the stuff it can do, because it's it probably does more than what I've just mentioned, but I just saw those two on a short video. It takes a lot to make me go, oh man, that's cool these days.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever. That really stood out as being something really cool. So very
nice.
So that's it for me for the week.
Fantastic.
So I'm in my PJs.
Yeah.
And I think I might just leave them on for the rest of the week.
Fantastic.
I stocked up on food today.
Excellent.
So I don't have to go to the house.
Yeah.
That's it. We're in.
You're like a bear going into hibernation.
We're locking up. We're closing down. We're shutting down. So,
oh dear.
This is my last 2 hours and 7 minutes of freedom. So we might go run around the streets.
I was going to say you should go and run up and down your street.
Here's the thing: other than the kids being home, my life doesn't really change.
Yeah,
I'm right most of the time anyway.
Yeah.
Just have to go to the shops or the cafes, and they're going to wear a bloody mask.
Yeah,
again.
Yeah.
Anyways, all good.
Oh, mate, I hope it is not too painful, and I hope it doesn't go any longer than 7 days for you.
Yeah, next week's recording, hopefully, we'll be just about coming out of it.
Yeah,
so,
nice.
So there we go.
Awesome, mate.
Well,
we'll have a good week.
Yourself.
Yep.
We will. And we'll talk to you next week, everybody.
Will do. Bye.
Bye, all.
You've been listening to Shutters Inc. For questions, comments, and feedback, email theboys@shuttersincpodcast.com.